Hello, I'm Mason Hickok, and this is Design Down, a podcast series that looks at the creative process behind the graphics and photography work put in by the Paisano's artists and photographers. Paisano is the independent student newspaper at the University of Texas at San Antonio. In this episode, I talked to Chloe Williams, the web and social editor at the Paisano.
If you can introduce yourself and how you got involved at the Paisano.
Hey, hi, my name is Chloe Williams. I am the web and social media editor at the Paisano, and I got involved last December, probably the last issue of the semester, and I got involved because my roommate, who's the managing editor right now, was always talking about it, and then my other roommate became part of the photo team, so I was like, I might as well come and see what's going on. But I wasn't sure at first what I really fit in doing, so because I hadn't written in a long time, and I didn't draw or anything, but I became involved with the website, and I really enjoyed it. So, and now I'm kind of just doing a little bit of everything.
What's your major?
I am a major in business marketing, and I think I'm going to add a minor in, oh my gosh, it's something so random. I can't even think of it. It's something to do with business systems, and it's not business systems, it's something else.
Information systems?
No, it doesn't have systems in it. But it's basically kind of making things run faster.
Okay.
So I might add that.
Is it software based or?
No, it's business based. It's it's a business science kind of thing, where it's the scientific side of business, where analytics and that kind of stuff, research stuff. But yeah, I only need one more class to get it, so might as well.
So you are not necessarily specifically you're not on the photo team per se, but a lot of people at the Paisano, you cover a lot of ground. And your profile on the website has articles and also has graphics as well. Talk a little bit about, I guess, from the perspective, maybe not so much this semester, but last semester, where maybe you were picking up more graphics, and you probably are now. I know we were just starting too, but when it came to when you would get a graphic and you'd get an article, how do you, and the description of the graphic from the section editor, how do you turn your process of turning those words into a picture? Do you pull inspiration from, if it's a political piece, do you pull inspiration from images that are circulating out there on the web through other newspapers, or do you kind of do it a little bit more free, where you just kind of come up with something on the spot based off of the words they provide?
So in all honesty, I don't think I've really ever received, I think this past week was the first time I've received a graphic from the photo team. Usually all last semester and the rest of the graphics have been it's the night of, it's the day before, and an editor's I need a last minute graphic, and then so I'll usually pop them out there. So really this, and I've never been in contact with the photo editor before this semester, and this past week was actually the first time I've been I picked one up and was assigned it on the day that they're assigned, and it was I picked up. Oh, it didn't even get used.
It hasn't been used yet.
No, it hasn't been used. It was one for the book banning. But yeah, because I did that graphic, and that was the first one that I actually picked up. And then the 2 student debt ones I did this week, nobody had picked them up. So on Sunday, the photo editor texted me and asked me if I could do them. So I did both of those. And then the other one, the heckling from the audience, I did on Monday night because there was not. It was a last minute one, so I did that on production night. So most of my graphics are usually done very last minute.
Yeah.
So because I can get them done pretty quickly. So those are usually when I do them.
Where do you typically design them at?
So
choice?
I usually use Procreate. But because I guess this entire summer I've been using Adobe Illustrator for everything. Procreate has been frustrating me lately because they don't have the same things, I guess, for lack of better words, that Illustrator does. For example, straight lines. In Procreate you have to draw a straight line, but in Illustrator you can just just put it and it'll automatically like straighten it out. So like some stuff like that, it's like, so for the book banding one, I actually like did a little bit in Procreate and then I switched it over to Illustrator just because I'm just have gotten really confident in that. But all of the other ones were done on Procreate, and I mostly will just like maybe like look up like student data or something and then pull inspiration from some of those things, and then I'll draw them based on, I think, like the topic of the article or what some of the stuff that the article includes.
Kind of stepping away from the graphics and stuff, talk a little bit about the essay gyms, the vice versa coffee shop article you did for the first issue.
Yes.
How did you find the coffee shop, and what was it like putting that story together?
Yes, so this is actually, it was my second Arts and Life article, but the first one that I've written by myself. And I stumbled upon this coffee shop because I did an internship this summer in downtown San Antonio, and the hotel that a lot of the interns were staying at was right next to this coffee shop in St. Paul Square. And one night I was over there after a networking event. I went to eat at there's like a restaurant across there called Suck It Mixology. So I went to eat there, and then I was hanging out with my friend, and then we decided to go into this coffee shop because they were open until like 10 p.m. And then we went there, and I was like, oh my god, like this is like the cutest place ever. And I'm very, very picky about coffee shops because I like don't really just go to coffee shops just to like be there. Like I go to study, and like some of them are just so small that like it's like hard to find a seat, and all the seats are close together. There's no chargers, but I really liked Vice because of how big it was. So when I went back about, I think like a week later, I went and like worked out of the coffee shop for my internship with my other interns. I actually asked the owner if I could interview him, and then I came back at a later date and I set that up and I interviewed him, and it was just really cool because it combines like coffee and records, but then also it was really cool to hear about his future plans because they're planning to turn it into a jazz club speakeasy on the basement, which is also really cool because I really enjoyed going to the Jazz Texas and the Pearl, so that was really cool. Yeah, I was like nervous because it was my first like real interview, like one-on-one interview article, but it went well and it was really nice. Like it was just a good experience.
Do you like interviews like that, or because I know like you've written for like the opinion section and stuff as well. Do you have like a preference? Like, do you prefer kind of introspective or kind of research-based opinion pieces, or do you also kind of like interview-based arts and life for news stories as well?
I find if you had asked me this like last semester, I'd been like, I love opinion, but now I feel like, I don't know, because it's like, I like the opinion section, and I think it's really good when I'm writing about something I'm passionate about, like my foster care article. I feel like when I'm not writing about something I'm passionate about, it just comes a little like, not harder, but like a little harder. Mm-hmm. So lately I've been like enjoying writing for Arts and Life, and I want to write a news article soon, but I have no idea what I would write about. But I'm actually I'm going to an Arts and Life event tonight to write about. But yeah, lately I've been liking Arts and Life more. Not really like I like the interview side of it, but like I also like don't, because it's like it's just hard to talk to people and interview them, but I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it, and I know it builds connections and networking and stuff like that, which could prove to be useful in the future. Yeah, so right now I'm liking Arts and Life and just kind of like the interview kind of style more than writing opinion pieces.
Outside of the Paisano, once you come graduate and stuff, like where do you see yourself? Is it you kind of see yourself based around like a newspaper or magazine kind of thing, or separate from that, like a completely different kind of, or something even that's like based in design as well?
I went into college very like, I'm gonna do marketing, but then I really have gotten more into like design, and I really enjoy that a lot. Like just working on Illustrator, like for work I do design on InDesign and Adobe Illustrator, and those have just been really fun to learn and work with. But I don't know, because I really am right now trying to like diversify my like things. So like I do social media posts for a startup that helps teens get access to birth control, and that's like a very certain style, like more like teenage, like young, youthful style, less professional. And then there's the Paisano, which I'm trying to, I guess, like up the quality of the social media posts and make them more professional looking, since we are like a professional establishment. And then like for work I help do designs and like writing content for like 8 different companies, different startup software companies, and they all have different styles. So I don't know, because that's more like tech software, and then the Paisano is more like newspaper design. And then the other thing I do is more like non-profit-y, kind of like helping and educating people. So I could see myself in any of those fields and literally anything else. I feel like I can find ways to enjoy anything I do, so I'm not like too picky on like what I will be doing. I know it'll probably be in like design, marketing field. I do wish UTSA had a graphic design major, because I want to do that, but I'm considering like taking a graphic design course maybe next summer. I know like UT offers one, and then there's also some like really expensive ones online, but I feel like that's something that I would enjoy.
Say to like, this is kind of a little bit of a extravagant kind of question, but you talked about like the different social media and kind of like how it's presented. Like you've got the nonprofit one, you've got one for the Paisano where it's a little bit more kind of professional and stuff, and then you've got the one that's for your internship. How that like relates to designing stuff for that type of audience, and then getting those designs out to that audience. Are you more comfortable in one of those than the other? Like, are you more comfortable in like producing stuff for the Paisano where it's a little bit more professional and, you know, it's still marketed towards students and, you know, the UTSA community, but it's, you know, it is a professional publication? Or, you know, are you more comfortable in the kind of like nonprofit stuff where it's a little bit more kind of like freeing, so to speak? I don't know if that's making any sense.
Yes, it does make sense. I feel like I like, because I do like where I can be more creative in like my kind of like post ideas or like the format I use for them. But I also like when there's like a kind of like a brand guide and I stick to like the colors and I work with those, and just kind of like I have a set kind of brand elements and I use those rather than like just kind of like creating new ones every time. But I do like working with brand elements, and that's not something I even thought of before I started my internship, but it's honestly like, and I'm working like to create stuff like that for the Paisano, like create kind of like a brand image that is not just like the logo, but like actually having like aspects of the Paisano posts, like whether that's like kind of like triangle designs or more like circle designs or just like photo heavy. So that's something I'm playing around with right now. I don't know. I kind of like feel like I like everything kind of equally, because it's like every side has its like downside and every side has its upside. So I really just like doing everything.
Cool. Awesome. I think that's it.
Great.
Very good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can find links to the stories mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. Chloe's article and Vice Versa Coffee and her foster care article are also linked. The Paisano's Instagram is also listed. Thank you for listening. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcasts. For the Paisano, I'm Mason Hickok.
Thanks for watching. Click our logo to subscribe or click the videos for more from the Paisano. Leave a comment letting us know your thoughts and what you'd like to see us cover next.